You know, I don't pay much attention to YouTube originals, but it was only a matter of time before they started making anime, the same way Netflix does. And maybe like that platform, it might become a trend here. I never thought I would see a mecha anime out of it though, which of course gained my interest immediately. Obsolete story starts off with a crazy but intriguing plotline. Aliens have shown up and have decided to trade highly advanced mechs in exchange for limestone, and that's all they want. No other content about anything else, you don't even see the aliens at all. No surprise, humans start using the mechs to fight against each other and problems become more widespread over time. I remember when the trailer for this was originally released and a lot of the comments were about the awful frame rates and 3D animation quality. Now I must admit I'm not a fan of this 3D style we have seen come from anime in recent years. The worst example of this has to be the recent Berserk TV show, which was absolutely destroyed by the online anime community. And I'm a giant fan of Berserk, but even for me it was hard to take. The problem with the Berserk is that not only did it use that 3D style, but it was poorly used and directed. You might not think it, but just those two things alone make a world of difference, and I'm glad to say the opposite for Obsolete. The 3D is used in the correct way, especially on the exo frames, and then the show and action scenes are well directed and have a sense of flow to them. The 3D models still make it difficult to convey emotion in terms of facial appearances, but that is a problem you will have using this style over 2D or a higher production using 3D. Though again, I think the creative team knew this and kept face animation scenes to a minimum. With only 6 episodes lasting around 12 minutes or so, it's not like the show had a big budget. Still, I was engaged for every bit of that runtime, all the way through to the very last episode. The first episode just kind of throws you into this world and conflict and battles between exo frames, and then the series kind of works backwards, slowly explaining how we got to this point and what characters were up to beforehand, along with some great world building. It's really well written and has great pace. Episodes had little runtime, but it's used very well. I felt like each episode had the right balance of dialogue and action spread between them. There's never a dull moment, it's an entertaining show. My favourite episodes were 4 and 5. 4 because it finally gets around to the question of how convenient it was for aliens just to randomly drop off exo frames. But where did these frames even come from? Where have they been before Earth, as some have more wear and tear than others? Yet all humans care about is how we can use them for our own good or bad. Episode 4 also showed the dilemma of a mercenary who is perhaps not cut out for his new job and might need to move on. This episode also had some great action. The reason why I love episode 5 is simply because it introduced a really cool character in a very cool manner. It's hard not to get on the Major's side when the way he was introduced made him look like such a badass, with easily the most standout 2 moments for season 1 coming in this episode, for me anyway. The extra frames were designed by Makoto Ishiwata, who has also worked on a number of shows. The designs, while alien looking in its exoskeleton for obvious reasons, still have further designs that give it a more realistic military look that you could very much imagine being used in the world of today. I think again for one of my favourite episodes, that being episode 4, that my favourite exo frame from the show was the PMC Cerberus frame. I just dig their look and the extra ammo packs. With how the frames are in general, you can imagine the battle scenes are kept to a more grounded sense of reality. I feel like Cable from the X-Men TV show from the 90s. You remember that episode where Cable has to go back in time to save his future? But to do that he has to help Apocalypse destroy the X-Men's present, which leaves Cable with all kinds of conflicts which boils down to no! Well, that's how I feel about this show. To help save Mecha Anime, I have to recommend this show because it was a fine package and is well worth your time, especially since it's no longer behind YouTube's paywall service, aka YouTube Premium, and can be watched for free now. Still, it helps YouTube's quest to become another Netflix and leave behind what YouTube truly was, which was about people out there just making videos to express whatever they loved in life and wanted to share it. Every year that YouTube seemed to vanish and become more of a distant memory, so by recommending this show I'm helping that fact become more of a reality. Still, I have to give dues when YouTube do something good, and Obsolete is one of the best original modern mech shows in recent years, so give it a watch and hopefully season 2 is just as good. As always, thanks for watching and catch you next time.